another finger that pointed to this phenomenon. During that year, and a little bit after, I was consumed with some weirdness. I would be sitting I'd be in bed asleep, or I'd be driving down the street, and I would be suddenly bombarded with these phrases and words that I had to write down in order for them to make them stop bugging me so I could live. So I'd wake up in the middle of the night with these images in my mind, and I'd draw them. Or I'd have a word or a phrase. Most of it made not much sense to me, but I'd write it down, and then it would leave me alone, and I could go back to sleep. Or I could continue driving. I would have to pull over because I couldn't even focus on driving because it was so intense. But after it was done and I'd pull over, I'd be okay. I collected seeds and stones of all different kinds. I had this magnificent rock collection and all kinds of seeds for all kinds of plants in my room. And my mom was very annoyed with me about it and always was telling me to get rid of it. And I said, I will, one day I will. And one morning I woke up and they were all gone, and my mom swears up and down she did not touch them. I don't know where they were. I was also having a lot of psychic things happen. A ring became missing of mine, and I knew it was in the house, and I followed the feeling to my son's bedroom. In the middle of their bedroom, under the carpeting and under the padding, when I took a screwdriver and pried the carpeting up and pulled the padding up, had to move the bed to do this to get to the middle of the room. There was my ring. And my mom stood and watched the whole thing. And she's like, what? She came in and she goes, what are you doing? Because I was tearing the carpeting up, and I'm like, the ring is under here. She said, how do you know that? There's no way. And I'm like, yes, it is. It is. I'm telling you, I was frantic. And I pulled the carpet up, and there it was. My mom stood right there and watched. I wouldn't believe that for anything. If anybody told me they did that, I'd be like, okay. But I did. I don't understand how or why. Stuff like that happened to me all the time during this time. It's like something in me was opened for some reason. Back to the drawings. These are some drawings that I did. I did these drawings in the late 80s, and then crop circles started to come more into the press in the early 2000s, and a lot of the stuff kind of reminded me of my drawings, and some of them spoke to me. This one I called Transformation. That one. And I was excited when I saw that on TV. This one I called Casey's Bubbles. Well, I'll come back to that in a minute, but I think now I understand what that is. And I'll come back to that in a second. This I always thought was a symbol for me, like a name, me or us, I don't know. But I thought it was me. I don't know what that means. I saw it on a wall. The wall was black and shiny, and all the print was in white. It was like in reverse. Same thing with this. This was alive, I thought. It was moving, and it was in 3D. And I don't know what it was. But at first when I saw it, it was like I was standing in front of a big TV screen on a wall or something, and it was moving. That's why I thought it was alive. I'd never seen anything like that before. So there's that. This is like a compilation of a bunch of things. This is music, sound, right here. These just are symbols that indicate something. The whole bigger thing, I don't even know what that was. This stuff is some kind of a way to count, like a date or a time, but I don't know what it means. A lot of this stuff wasn't in Intruders. Bud didn't want to publish this stuff and make it public because he wanted to hold it back for future reference in new cases for control. He didn't want it to be out in the public so that other people would see it. And, you know, it's easy, to human, to see things, and then it gets in there, and then later it comes back up, and you think it was yours and really wasn't. I mean, whenever the investigation started with our family, the one thing he insisted on was don't read any books or watch anything on TV about UFOs. Stay away. We want this to be as clean as we can keep it. So, I'm like, no problem.